Hey there, and welcome to the first Fourth and Floor of Kyle's Sports Blog. This is a new little spot for Kyle's Sports Blog. I thought we could do more videos. It seems like that's what the cool kids are doing nowadays, so let's just go ahead and dive on in. Fourth and Floor for Kyle's Sports Blog will be 4 fantasy football themed topics per video, and it'll be in 4 minutes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in. Our theme is going to be training camp and preseason storylines. So I got my notes. Here we go. First one, Foles and Trubisky. Not that I care about them for fantasy. I don't really care about Foles or Trubisky being my starting fantasy quarterback, but I do care about Allen Robinson. Last time we saw good Nick Foles play with Alshon Jeffrey for 8 games, here's the pace that he had. 16-game pace, 78 catches, 1,330 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That would be more yards, more touchdowns than Allen Robinson had last year, and less catches. But I think we all can say Allen Robinson's probably a better athlete and better wide receiver right now than Alshon Jeffrey was back just a year and a half ago. The Bears were already top 11 in pass play percentage, and that was with a bad quarterback in Trubisky, a bottom 5 guy. I think if Robinson can get 20-25% of the targets with an accurate Nick Foles, he'll be better than he was last year. And he was already a number 2 wide receiver last year with 26% of targets. So 20-25 with a good quarterback, I think he's good. Rumblings about my top 2 rookie running backs is my next storyline I want to listen to in the preseason and then in the training camp. I already wrote about Cam Akers, so you can go check them out, but my top 2 guys are Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jonathan Taylor. Edwards-Helaire is my number 14 running back, which is a huge ranking for a rookie running back that doesn't even have a guaranteed role. But if you listen to these stats, just listen to what the mediocre guys did last season in the backfield for the Chiefs. They totaled 1,900 total yards and 15 total touchdowns. And the year before that, with Hunt, before he got suspended, and then they filled in with Damon Williams, they had 2,200 total yards with 23 total touchdowns. There's all kinds of upside in this backfield, and if we hear anything about Edwards-Helaire being the lead back, I think he should be a top 10 running back worth a second-round pick. I feel mostly the same about Jonathan Taylor, just at a smaller level, because the Chiefs are obviously a lot better than the Colts. Max better than Damon Williams, so I don't think it's going to be as easy for Jonathan Taylor, but if he doesn't fumble in the preseason and there's good words coming out, I think he could be a top 15 running back. Next up, Kenny Stills. Who cares about Kenny Stills, right? Well, first off, he averaged 11 points per game in PPR in his last 6 games I've seen, so that's nothing to sneeze at. But I'm worried about where he goes. It looks like there's just a little too much going on at the wide receiver position in Houston, and he might be the odd man out. I think there's 2 spots if he lands that could help the quarterback become a top 12 quarterback in fantasy. That is Green Bay and New England. So helps Aaron Rodgers, give him a second wide receiver stretch field, or just be an adequate wide receiver which he doesn't have besides Adams. Or if he goes with Cam Newton in New England, that's another number 2 option that I think could fit really good with Cam Newton and give him another weapon. Right now, Rodgers is 15th, Cam Newton is 17th in my rankings, but the arrow is already really going up for Cam Newton, and anything good you hear about him, I think he could really fly up the rankings. If Stills there, that's another weapon for him. And then I think Rodgers is going to be a fringy starter this year, regardless if he gets Stills or not, but I think that extra weapon and what we know he can do with weapons, I think he could be a top 12 quarterback if he gets another weapon. And then lastly, the last thing I want to talk about is the Chargers situation at running back. If you've been looking at my rankings, you can already tell how high I am on Austin Ekeler. I have him as my 7th running back and a top 13 pick in no matter what scoring format. I've done so many mock drafts already, and every single time I get him in the second round, doesn't matter what my first round pick is, I always get Ekeler in the second round because he's going in average draft position as an early 3rd rounder. If the situation currently stays that it is, then he has Justin Jackson and Joshua Kelly behind him. I don't really think that that's any kind of competition. I think unless they sign a guy like Lamar Miller or they go and another team cuts a vet during the preseason, they go and pick up the veteran, I don't think there's any competition. He'll be a workhorse. And if you look at Tyrod Taylor when he was the starter the last 2 years in Buffalo, he threw LaShawn McCoy had over 100 catches in those final 2 years. And the year before that, he was on pace for 40 before he got hurt. I think Eckler's a workhorse, and I believe that if nothing changes in this preseason, then that he should a late first round value that you can get in the second round. Thank you. And again, we'll be back. I'll do it periodically through this time right now. Closer to draft season, we'll do more. And then once the season starts, we'll at least do one a week. Thanks again. See you next time.